Hello and welcome to part 3 of Let's Learn Giant Steps with Dr. Levin. No, I'm not a real doctor, but I used to sell hot dogs in hospital waiting rooms, and I had a cool catchphrase. It was, "Get your hot dogs!" This week we're going to take an in-depth look at the harmonic function for each chord in giant steps. We're also going to learn a lick to help you start playing over the changes. By now, you should have memorized the chords, have more than one way to play the melody, and should have been playing through the changes with a metronome or with a backing track using first just the roots, just the thirds, just the fifths, or just the sevenths. Here's what that looks like, because last week I didn't really show you exactly how to do the exercise, and I just want to make sure you've been doing it right. So here's what it looks like. So make sure you keep practicing that with the metronome. Try to build it up to a point where it's just in your fingers and you can play it seamlessly and ideally very fast, because eventually we're going to be playing giant steps at 240 beats per minute, which is very fast. And those kinds of muscle memory connections with the chord tones are going to be essential for playing at those high speeds later on. But for now, we're going to take it slow, and let's take a look at the chords. So in giant steps, as I told you in the first week, there are 3 key signatures that occur, and they switch from key to key very quickly. And I just want to talk you through each chord and explain its function. So, a few things that will help you out are, first of all, every time you see a major 7 chord in this piece, it acts as the 1 major 7, meaning if you see B major 7, we're in the key of B. If you see E flat major 7, we're in the key of E flat. And if you see G major 7, we're in the key of G. And that's always true for any time you see major 7 chords. For dominant 7 chords, they always act as the 5-7. So anytime you see a D7, it's going to be the 5-7 of G. So anytime you see D7, you can play in the key of G. Anytime you see F sharp 7, you're in the key of B. B flat 7, you're in the key of E flat. So the chords always have the same function in this tune, which is not always the case in other tunes, but fortunately dominant 7s are always 5-7s in this tune, major 7s are 1s, and minor 7s are always 2 minor 7s, and they always are part of a 2-5-1 back to home base. So if we go through this tune, first we've got B major 7, that's in the key of B major. Then the next chord is D7, and D7 is followed by G major 7, which can help you remember now you're in the key of G major. So for D7 and G major 7, which are beats 3 and 4, and then the first 2 beats of measure 2, you are in the key of G major. Then it quickly shifts to B flat 7, which leads to E flat major 7. So for B flat 7 and E flat major 7, you are in the key of E flat. Then there is a 2-5, which it means 2 minor 7, 5 7, leading to 1 in the key of G major. So you have a A minor 7, which is within the key of G major. You've got a D7 in the key of G major and a G major 7 in the key of G major. Then you quickly go to E flat major over the B flat 7, E flat major 7. Then you go to B major over F sharp 7 and B major 7. Then there's a 2-5 to E flat major 7, which is in E flat. So F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat major 7. Those three chords are all in E flat. Then the next three chords are all in G major. It's a 2-5 to G major. The next three chords are all in B major, 2-5 to B major. Then there's a 2-5 to E flat major. And then there's a 2-5 turnaround that takes us back to the top of the tune to B major again. Now if you had a hard time following that, basically what I'm saying is what I already showed with the color-coded chart, but I'm just explaining that all of the chords in this tune have a relatively simple relationship to each other. Things that are in B major are clearly in B major. They're either the 2 or the 5. There's no real modal interchange in this tune, and there's not a lot of trickiness. So those three keys exist throughout in different places and switch to each other as I just explained. And I'll attach the color-coded guide again because that is a really helpful way to see what I just explained. Now, let's get to the lick. So this lick is used by John Coltrane in his solo. So here's the lick. That's it, just that. It's a second, then another second, and then a third. And the sometimes you'll have minor seconds, sometimes you'll have major seconds, and sometimes you'll have minor thirds, sometimes you'll have major thirds, but the lick is essentially 2 seconds and then a third. And you can play this lick for each chord, starting on its root, third, fifth, or seventh. Let's check it out on roots. So first it's B major 7, so you could play it like this, then D7, then G major 7, then B flat 7. So I started on B, then I started on D, then I started on G, then I started on B flat. And then for E flat major 7, since it holds for whole bar, you play like that instead of just, you go. So let's hear that through the whole tune with the backing track. Cool, so that's the lick played with roots. Now let's see what it's like if we do it on thirds. So for B major 7, we'd start on the third, which is D sharp. Then we go to D7, which will be on F sharp. Then G major 7, which will be on B. Then B flat 7, which will be on D. Then E flat major 7 on G. And you can go through the whole tune this way. And you'll notice that I'm doing a minor for the major 7, starting on the third. For B major 7, I'm doing a minor second, then a major second, then a major third. So the intervals change a bit depending on what you're playing, but it's always going to be 2 seconds and then a third. So here is what it looks like if I do that with the track. Below, you can download the backing track again, but this time I made it a bit faster so you can practice some of these licks at different tempos. In fact, I have the very slow version, then a medium, and then a fast for you this week. And also a tabbed out, notated, tabbed out transcription of this lick played in on the roots and on the thirds. And because I really want you to get this down, don't worry about getting the fifths or the sevenths yet. And also, I know that the last 2 weeks' assignments have been things that can easily take more than a week to get down. So I don't want to over assign stuff, because the whole goal of this series is to really nail each thing we're working on before we move to the next step. So work that lick into your playing, and what we're going to do is, as time goes on, we're going to learn things in terms of theory, ear training, and licks. Now, the theory is just being able to understand why the things we like sound the way they do, why they work. With licks, we get the physical ability to play the things we like. And then with ear training, we get the ability to hear ideas and hear the piece on a sound level and internalize it. And when you learn all three, you combine them together, and the theory is no longer just understanding what's going on, but you're able to physically play what you understand and know what it sounds like. The licks are no longer just licks, but they're musical ideas that you can connect together using your theory and ear training knowledge. And your ear training, the stuff that's in your head, all the ideas, have a way to come out into your playing while you're improvising. So this week, learning this lick is just one of many, many licks that we're going to learn. And it also helps your ear in the process. The chord tone exercise from last week really helps your ears as well. And I hope that this theoretical analysis of the tune helped you understand that giant steps isn't that complicated in terms of where the keys are. It's just complicated in terms of the fact that the keys move so quickly, and it requires a lot of fluidity between the keys. And they're kind of distant, meaning there aren't that many common tones between each key. Although there are enough for it to sound cool, in my opinion. So anyway, good luck with this. Make sure you practice the lick, and make sure you give yourself a chance to just mess around over the changes, practicing without thinking too much, because that's also helpful. And please don't sue me for musical malpractice. I'll see you next week.